let's say it might be like a little late. Slug it? By next month, September, it's a little bit down. Yeah. But I mean, it's still kind of hot. But I mean, once we get that freshness, we're gonna, have that feeling nice.
Alright, so we're back out here again. Weekend, and we got the crop signs down called Babylon the Great, America. And we're the real Hebrew Israelites. We come out here to tell you, these are Latinos and Native Americans, that you're the Lord's chosen people. And his name is Yahushua. Father's name is Yahweh, both dark-skinned men, we call them black-skinned men, and that the white man is Edomite, the devil of the Bible. I'd like to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh. So, Satan's tempting. He's got his demons going out there to test everybody. Running all over the world and test individuals. He's going to test everybody. And let's go to Ecclesiasticus. Because you Christians like to say, started at 1.
Because 12:1. When thou wilt do good, know to whom thou does it, so thou shalt be thankful for thy benefits.
So when you do good, know who you're doing good to. If you see an Edomite bum, and you know he's an Edomite, he's cursing it. He says, God doesn't, this is all you know, you can identify him as an Edomite. Don't give him it. So that also means that the good stuff that we're giving, and the good that we will do when thou wilt do good, know to whom thou does it. That's talking about preaching the gospel. We can't say Edomites are going to make it, because they're not. We can't say what's called Pacific Islanders are going to make it, because they're not. They have to be Israelites. Now there's Israelites all over the world, and that's the most important part of this sermon. Any real Israelite, Hebrew Israelite church out there is trying to wake up the elect of Israel, not just the elect of the world, but the elect of the elect. So verse 2.
Verse 2. Do good to the godly man without finding recompense, and if not the man, then from the inside.
So, if you do good to the good, godly man, thou shalt find a recompense. Because we're not getting paid out here. We don't want to get paid carnal money. We want to get paid in heaven, I want to be saved. I don't like this place. This place is hell. It's run by the wicked elite. They got homosexual agendas all over the schools, on TV. Shit, what were we watching? Well, I was watching the Buzz Lightyear, the Newborn, just to watch it. And then they had this lady captain. She had gotten married to another woman, and then I was like, Sodom and Gomorrah, and also Edom and Egypt, Babylon, the Chaldean, a harlot. She's got a bunch of names. She's definitely a whore, right? Get the next one.
3. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, or to him that giveth no alms.
So this is the alms that we're giving. also give alms. Like if you see a bum out there, and well, some of the times you see a woman out there, she's all pregnant. Maybe that's a scam, maybe it's not. But you know, what are you gonna do? Like if you were driving and you see a car on fire, and you know that it was a wreck, and then you saw a baby in there, would you try to get it out?
That's true. My dad's a story about the Samaritan.
You know, you got to do the good thing, because what are we here for? We're not here to let bad things happen. Because in the book of Job, Job was favored because he eschewed evil.
Got to receive.
Go ahead.
The book of Tobit 12:8-9. For prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness. A little with righteousness better than much with unrighteousness. It is better to give alms than to lay up gold. Verse 9. For alms doth deliver from death and shall purge away all sin. Those that exercise alms, the righteousness shall be filled with life.
That's right. And you're not supposed to brag about it either. Because if the scripture said do it in secret, like if you're giving alms, do it in secret.
And we get over where it opened.
And I believe it was Tobit. Tobit's the father, right?
Yeah, Tobias is the son.
And then Tobit was burying Israelites in the dark and at night because they were getting slayed by the Romans or the Greeks. So while they were getting slayed, they were getting killed. This man knew about it because he would walk home from work and he'd see an Israelite dead and he'd be like, damn, he'd feel bad. He'd be like, this is one of my people. So at night when nobody was watching it, the soldiers were drunk and about to pass out, he would get up and he would take his son and they would bury those Israelites. Those are good alms. Now, it's not going to be like that this time, because the good that's going to get given is being given away right now. Okay, if we see you dead on the fucking street, that's your ass. You know, you can't jeopardize the sheep. You can't jeopardize the lamb. So,
Verse 4. Give to a godly man and help not a sinner.
Well, why can't we help out a sinner? Well, why shouldn't we help? Why shouldn't we help out a sinner? We shouldn't fucking help out no goddamn sinner. Now, the sinner is the Edomite, even though they don't have the right to sin, but he was the original sinner, and he's the one that leads our people astray. So we know him as a sinner because he does against the law. But also, it's talking about the Israelites that break the law. See, Esau is set up to make you sin. That's why he's a sinner. He's a sin monger, like a whoremonger, but his business is to help you sin.
Like it's in his blood, though.
Yeah, it's in his blood. But a godly man, that's an Israelite. Okay, that's an Israelite man.
Sons of God.
Sons of God, right? And I don't know if it's in Psalms 82 or you shall die like men, like you are
But
God.
change the darkness.
Yeah.
The angel, because our angel going to pass down to the hell, which is this part right here.
Yeah.
And, you know, the change of darkness is his body, so that.
But a lot of people get confused. A lot of people get confused and they stay confused. They don't like to be corrected.
And the next verse after that is like Jude talks about the Lord, Michael, and Satan. Yeah, something to do with that, you know?
About Moses' body.
Yeah, yep, that one is it.
And you see how that goes? So we're special, but we came from captivity. So you can't forget that right now we're filthy. We're filthy and dirty, even though we try to keep it clean. But even though we do keep it clean and we worship the Sabbath, we keep the Sabbath, we keep it holy, we're still dirty because we're still doing things that we shouldn't be doing. Like even if we prepare anything and we have to go on a trip, guess what? When you turn on the ignition, you started a fire. It's an internal combustion engine. So once you turn the key, that spark gets from the spark plug and it causes a fire. So you
Yeah.
fucked up. It says
You
you're
try
not
to warm
supposed to
something up in the microwave too, real quick.
There you go. That's atomic fire.
Yeah.
So let's get the next one.
Verse 5. Do well unto him that is lowly, but give not to the proud. Hold back thy bread and give it not unto him, lest he overmaster thee thereby, for else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good that thou shalt have done unto him.
So this is why I'm saying that Esau is the sinner. Is also a sinner because he's helping you sin. So it said right here, do well unto him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly. Hold back thy bread and give it not unto him, lest he overmaster you. Okay, that's the key word. So Job 9:24 tells you that the world is given into the hand of the wicked. That's who overmastered us. And this is talking about Alexander. Because if you go to First Maccabees, it'll tell you about Philip of Macedonia and his son Alexander, who went and conquered.
It even said right there that that's when evil started
Multiplying on the earth.
Multiplying earth, yeah.
So our job as teachers is to make sure we're putting these puzzles together. I didn't just read one scripture, I read the whole Ecclesiastes chapter 12. It's a short chapter, but you know it has a lot of stuff. And if it makes you think, then it's good for your brain, right? So let me get into it again. Lest he overmaster thee thereby, for else thou shalt receive twice as much evil. So he's already evil, doing evil, making you do evil, but he's supposed to do evil. You're not. That's why it says you're going to receive twice.
Stuff like I said, don't get that vaccination, right? And we told you and you know of it, but you still are scared and you still get it. And then there's something that's going to happen to you where you're not even going to wake up the next day or some shit, you know?
And the thing about that is we got to remember what's in the Bible. Okay, those are all stories for us to be encouraged. Because in Daniel, when those three young men didn't bow down, they didn't want to worship. They were like, man, we worship only Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So that should be in all our hearts. And there'll be a time when we'll be put to that test, and then you'll see where you stand. Because you could be getting tested all the way up to the death, but you won't die, and then you'll be saved, or you'll get tested and then you get put to death, and then you still be saved. You know?
What's that, martyr?
Martyr.
Martyr.
But you know, here's the thing. I mean, you just gotta prove yourself. You can't. Don't say things like, "Oh, I'm gonna be that guy." Say stuff like this. Lord willing, He gives me strength and wisdom and knowledge and understanding so that I can be that man. See all these morons driving around, just looking at us.
They are morons, though.
They are.
You had last week that fucking fat bitch that passed by in the truck.
Yeah.
She made a sound as a fucking mockery, though. Yeah, like, bitch, you don't even understand what's going on here.
No,
He's down there, they got the 2 for 6, bitch. Fucking nigga, you know what I mean?
That's what you need to yell about.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: those people right there, they're asleep.
Yeah.
Like they're plugged into the matrix. Like think about it like that. They got a spiritual wire connected to Satan, and they don't wanna stop thinking about good old Satan.
I got a definition of what the master said. Overcome by superior force.
There you go. And the superior force was the sword. It's not that you're weaker than him. The Bible tells you you're better than him. But you have to learn humility. Humility means being humiliated. How many times have we been humiliated by this devil?
You know, our own people, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's the evil that they're gonna get twice.
Yeah, because I was pretty good. I was setting up this canopy though. And I don't know if they're laughing because I was doing it to these two Jakes, so they were laughing with their conversation. But I heard them laughing. I don't know if because I was setting up this canopy, but I mean, it is what it is.
People don't understand.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be laughing at a guy on the street corner selling flowers, but in a mansion because he sells flowers every day. And if he sells 100 flowers, he made $100. If he does that 100 times, he made $1,000. No, $10,000. And there's 300 days in the year, so you think he's gonna take a break? Hell no. Laugh at him all you want, but that's what this represents. You know, you don't give the holy to the wicked, and the Bible keeps repeating itself. Cast not thy pearls unto swine. Don't. It says right here. Do good to the good, godly man, and thou shalt find a recompense. And then it also says, do well unto him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly. Hold back thy bread. Don't give him anything. How much you know, sir? So don't give him the bread, which is basically money. And in that way, you're telling our power Lord and Savior, look, I'm down. I'm doing exactly what you told me not to do. I'm doing exactly what you told me to do. Trying the best that I can. And I was reading it's always a good thing when you're reading the Bible before you go to bed, because it'll help you be programmed for the next day, and then the next day you're thinking all about the Bible. So I was reading it, and I came across when Yahushua was trying to get set up. The Pharisees and the Sadducees were trying to set him up, and they brought the woman and said, "Look, we brought this adultery. Fucking caught her in the act. Let's stone her." And then Yahushua started writing in the sand, and then he said, "Let he or them who has no sin cast the first stone."
I got it right here.
Okay, go ahead.
John 8:7. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. 8. And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. He must have been writing a lot. And 9. And they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, Salakia, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Yahushua was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. So, what the hell you so holy about, clean about?
And I can't stop thinking about those wicked Christians. They come up here and they're full of shit. Oh, we're saved. Well, if you're fucking saved, what are you still doing here?
And they say they're saved, right? Yahushua saves them, right? So they don't believe in the second coming of them? That shit don't make sense, right? Because Yahushua is going to be the one that's going to save you, right? So they say I'm saved. But it's like, okay, if you say that, so that means you don't believe in the second coming of Yahushua.
That's right.
That don't make no fucking sense. And you Christians say that he is going to come. But you say you're saved by him.
Yeah, because you're afraid of him. You're afraid of the second coming.
Exactly, because you know what it's going to lead to. Woe to them that, Amos?
Woe unto them that want this day,
the day of the Lord.
The day of the Lord. But what it says, but it's telling you, woe unto those people that say they're saved, and they don't even know about that day.
Exactly.
Because they're saved for that day to get fucking burned up like chicharrones. They're going to get crispy. That shit it makes me laugh. I mean, it's not a laughing matter. It is, but I've been thinking a lot, and I came to the conclusion, fuck these people. They don't give a fuck. They were the ones spitting on Yahushua when he was carrying his cross. Even that dude, Simon, didn't want to help him pick up his cross. The soldiers had to make him do it. You gotta carry your own cross. But this man, when he was back on earth, he was a man. He was still our Savior, Lord and Savior. But he carried all our crosses.
All that
sin. Yeah, all that sin. And that's the thing about Christians. You think you're not sinning. You think you're free of sin. But you're the one that's sinning the most. Coming up to the real temple of Yahushua outside and taking a shit on the floor. That's fouled up.
That's profanity right there.
Yeah, that's real profane, because you know why? Because when you get cut by the scriptures, you guess to what? First thing you start doing? You start yelling.
Yeah.
Your voice gets higher. No, what? Look, it's crystal clear. Luke 12:6, please. This is the point I'm trying to make.
Most High hated sinners and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly and keepeth them against the light day of their punishment.
Okay, so now we're getting clear. It said, for the Most High hated sinners. That's the 2/3. And will repay vengeance unto the ungodly. That's all the other nations. Because they don't have no gods. So if you want to be ungodly, you're choosing not to have a god. Oh, that's a wrong choice. Okay, go ahead.
I gotta ask you, 2 Thessalonians 1, 8 and 9. And flaming fire taking vengeance on them that know not God, and that obey not the gospel of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, not Jesus Christ, who shall be punished with everlasting destruction from the presence of the Lord and from the glory of his power.
Say, first of all, you Christians skip this chapter. I mean, this whole book. You skipped a whole bunch of books. If you had it your way, you would make a Bible that said nothing but the good verses. And then you would use words, and then it wouldn't even be the Bible.
Pass out word.
Yeah, white them out.
Have
you ever seen a dossier? Like a dossier is a legal piece of paper disclosing information, and it has a line across it. That means that that's no longer the case. Have you ever seen like top secret pages?
Oh yeah.
And they have a line across. Yeah, and they have the line across. That means that that's no longer the case. You know, it's been changed. You can't do that with the Bible. That's the same thing.
That's what he's pointing against Michael Angel.
Like, can you give Revelation 12:7? Because that's the case right there. That's the case. So let's focus on this, and this is gonna make that one make more sense. So let's read this one, 12:6.
12:6. For the Most High hated sinners and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment.
That's what you're saved for, the day of your punishment. So he hates you sinners, and the only people that can sin is Israelites that are wicked. Because the law was only given to Israel. And the ungodly, I already said, is in other nations. And the first ungodly one is Cain, the tribe of Edom, the whole nation of Edom.
This is Revelation 12:7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
That's the dragon's angels. You heard how loud they were? Because what do they call their jets? Their F-15s? The Blue Angels, right? They got their Blue Angels.
In the A12 though, they call it the Archangel. Michael, that's the fastest Blackbird, the fastest jet.
And the names that they name their weapons is blasphemy. They have this called the Rod of God. I think it's a Chinese one where it's just a big giant tungsten rod, and it's about a mile long, and it just goes and it goes with so much inertia and momentum that when it hits, it's like an atomic bomb. So you see, you people out there, that's why you're all gonna get it. That's why you're all gonna get it. So you guys gotta get ready for it. Christians all over the world, talk about this. I want you Christians. I want you to get on the vocab show and talk about this. Talk about that. What's the war in heaven? And how come you don't ever talk about the Apocrypha? It's full of secrets. It's chock full of secrets.
That's something that when the Tobin, whenever they incense, they call that witchcraft to keep the evil spirits away, right? But also that's not voodoo. But didn't King David play the harp to keep the evil spirits away from south?
Yep. So you have to have a melody, right? That's a song. So it's a good song. It's actually a good vibration. You ever heard that before song? I'm feeling that good vibration. So it makes you feel like you're okay, but really we're in a bad situation. So it's hard to put up that good vibration when you're in a bad situation, right? You fucking stub your toe, you ain't gonna be happy for that until the pain goes away. Then you might laugh at it. But I guarantee you, you're not going to laugh at it when you're stubbed your toe. Have you ever got up in the middle of the night and stepped on your child's leg? Damn.
It's like pretty much stuff in your toe, man.
You just lay down your son or your daughter, and you're like, "Man, I love you so much." And then you're walking out, and then you step on a leg, "Oh, you fucking punk! This is your fault."
Yeah.
Stepped on a nail.
Oh shit, that hurts too. And we've done it a lot of times.
Well, you're running so fast, you don't feel it until you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, because when you're working hard and you're in the moment, I get cut and I don't know it, but I see blood on things and I'm like, oh, okay. But it's not a thing where like you want to get cut. You're not trying to get cut. I bet you these little angels or these little angels, they think they ain't gonna get touched. Some of them do, but most of them know. Look, we don't have a fucking chance. We don't have a chance in the world, and I think those ones that say that they don't have a chance in the world, they might be Israelites. Because why would you want to contend with God? It's only the ungodly that wants to contend with God. Yeah. It's like when you're flipping a burger. If it sticks to the grill, you know you're doing it too early. But if it slides under the spatula, perfect. Right? You don't want to mess that up. And so let's go to Maccabees 1. Remember I said all these bad things started happening. And those police right there, those are part of their army, the wicked army. Those are everybody that has a badge on your uniform, you're Satan's helper. You're not gonna be Satan's angel.
What was Cornelius though? He was a
centurion.
Like pretty much.
He had 100 soldiers under his command.
Yeah.
Because centurion means 100. In control of 100. Command of 100.
So he had to be like a general lieutenant up there.
He had to be something fierce.
Yeah.
And intelligent. Because they don't give that position to just dummies. And also, he came from a family that was rich, noblemen. Because they didn't just hand out none of us could have got that position. He must have had noble blood. You know, one of the Israelites that switched sides and became friends with the Rome. That they had riches, right? So they had a son, and then this son was like, all right, I'm a servant. He didn't know any better.
And after his death, talking about Alexander, they put counsel upon themselves to their sons after many years, and evil multiplied the earth.
That's right. So the evils were worshiping other gods, worshiping kings as gods, homosexuality, banging, yeah, there was banging sodomites. Let's see. They destroyed the temple. They built the temple of exercise.
Sacrificing swine.
That was probably one of the worst ones. Sacrificing swine. And they took our menorah. They took our priestly garments and everything. Man, they took everything from out of that temple and utterly destroyed it. Ever since then, because it says right here on 1 Maccabees 1:10, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been a hostage at Rome, and he reigned in 137 year of the kingdom of the Greeks. So this Epiphanes is when he made you sacrifice a swine. That's an insult. You're not supposed to sacrifice swine, let alone eat it.
You say you guys can't be Israelites.
Yeah, he was pushing. That's what he said. He's the creator of sin, right? He's the one making you sin. That's why this whole kingdom has to get destroyed, because they're trying to continue this.
Yeah, trying to say these people right here and these people over here.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much what this guy was doing, though. He was saying, you guys are going to be Greeks now. You guys ain't Israelites no more. That's what this devil is doing to this day.
And to close my lesson, 1 Maccabees 1:11. In those days when there out of Israel wicked men persuaded many, saying, let us go make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So would you rather be good with the devil and eat swine? Be okay? You're okay, but you're So
Toms and niggas and shit. You see?
So that was my lesson. You know, that's fine.
And my lesson is about that good Samaritan, right? That talking about in the book of Luke. And we all heard about the Samaritan, right? Even to this day, you know, you hear about Samaritan, right? And I give the little definition of it, though. Even when I was in the world too, I would hear about Samaritan, a good Samaritan. But I didn't, you know, I just didn't make sense. So, you know, why Samaritan? So it says, what is the meaning of a good Samaritan? One who voluntarily renders aid to another in distress, although under no duty to do so. See? So that's pretty much what it is. Like out of your heart, though, you're gonna help someone, you know? So you got these and like even though they were in the Samaritan though, they were heathens though, you know? But when we talk about that parable, which I'll get right now, in the book of Luke, the 10th chapter, can you read that whole parable? Like it's 33 to 37.
Luke 10, verse 33 through 37. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him. He went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him into an inn, and took care of him. And on the morrow, when he departed, he took out 2 pence, and gave them to the host, and said unto him, Take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee. Which now of these 3 thinkest thou was neighbor unto him that fell among the thieves? And he said, He that shewed mercy on him. Then said Yahushua unto him, Go, and thou do likewise.
That's what we're doing out here too, man. We're being good Samaritans out of our heart. We're trying to tell people, like, hey, you're an Israelite, you know? So that parable, right? Even 36 again, because, you know, these Christians say, oh, you gotta love your neighbor. You gotta love your neighbor, right? But what if your neighbor's a fucking pedo or a sodomite or like, you know what I mean? And they're like, you still gotta love them no matter what. See, that's where you Christians downfalls at, though, you know? Can you get down above yourself?
But before you get this, my lesson was telling you, don't do nothing for the sinner. Those are bad people. So Luke 10, see, Luke 10 and 36, which now of these 3 thinkest thou was neighbor unto him that fell among the thieves? Oh man, John's getting.
So that word neighbor, right?
Yeah.
So I got the definition of that word neighbor. So it's G4138, Leson, right? And it means, you know, any other person that were to concern the other, thy fellow man, thy neighbor. According to the Jews, any member of the Hebrew nation and commonwealth. It says member of a Hebrew nation and commonwealth, you know? So that's talking about brother though, you know? So let's say like a Judite, right, has a flat tire. And like, oh shit, you know, his brother needs help. So I go over there and help him out. That's me being a good Samaritan because that's my brother, you know? Even though he's from a different tribe, but guess what? We're all brothers, we're all neighbors though, you know? Everyone on this chart right here, we're all neighbors. Because you gotta think about it, back then, when King David though, each tribe had their own land. So they were literally neighbors. You be in Manasseh, you could walk to what is close to it, Ephraim, or any you know other any other nation that's close by them. So it could be like these were all our neighbors right here, you know. So that was all our brothers. So but these Christians, you know, they say, oh no, you know, you move into a new house, right? And you got a neighbor, you gotta love him no matter what, even though he's an Edomite or commits adultery. No, you still gotta love him because that's your neighbor. That's stupid, you know? That's stupid though. Can you get Luke chapter 1, verse 58? Right? Because there's a difference. That's what these Christians don't tell you. When it comes to neighbor, they think literal, you know? But it's spiritual. Because yeah, there's a neighbor that's your actual neighbor. So can you get them?
Luke 1 and 58, and her neighbors and her cousins heard how the Lord had shown great mercy upon her.
That's not
And they rejoiced with her.
John. So that's talking about when Elizabeth had John. So can you read that one?
Luke 1 and 58, and her neighbors and her cousins heard how Yahweh Shimon Shai had showed great mercy upon her, and they rejoiced with her.
Because she had her cousins and her neighbors, right? So I looked up the word neighbor in this piece right here, right? And it means literally dwelling around a neighbor. And so this is G4. I'll say it right now. It's a different name, you know. So that's a different name. So the neighbor from the other chapter, Luke 10, is not talking about the same neighbor. So this one right here is talking about an actual neighbor, a literal neighbor that lives by them, because it says dwelling around, you know. So, but you notice that it had a different meaning to it, though, different name, you know, because when it comes to neighbors, that's our brother-in-law, you know. So there's a precept right here, which I'll get right now in the book of Matthew, because that's a commandment, though, you know. That's a straight commandment, though. And I'll get it right now. Matthew 22, 37, I'll read to 39. Yahweh Shai said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thy might, heart, and with thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment, right? And 39 it says, and the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, right? So that neighbor, you look into that definition of that one, and it's talking about the same son, you know? So it's not talking about a literal neighbor, though. So guess what? These brothers are my neighbor, because they're the brother, though, you know?
This is Matthew 12 and 50. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. So whoever does the will of Yahweh Shimon Shai, that's my brother. Yep. Not my biological brother.
I was gonna make that one too, but yeah, good thing you brought it up, brother. Yeah, because he